Well, good morning, everybody. We have a short weather delay, so I just wanted to let you know we'll be about 10, 12, 14 minutes, something like that, 15 before the minister arrives. As you can well imagine, the roads are not that great today with the snow coming down, so just relax and we'll get back to you here in a few minutes once the minister arrives. We can't start without him because he's got the big announcement for today, so we'll wait for the minister and get started as soon as he arrives. So thanks for your patience. Well, good morning, everyone. Thanks for your patience. Our guest of honor has arrived, so we're grateful that he made it through the weather and that he took the time to join us this morning. And I'm also grateful that I got my tie on. With COVID, I don't wear a tie very often, so got it on first try, so props to the board chair. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to Red Deer Polytechnic, and welcome to everyone who is joining us in person. It's great to see people in the Arts Centre today, and also for those that are joining us on our live stream. My name is Guy Pelche, and I'm the board chair for Red Deer Polytechnic's Board of Governors, and it's my pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies today as we celebrate the future of our institution. As we begin today, I would like to recognize that the Red Deer Polytechnic campus is situated on Treaty 7 land, the traditional territory of the Blackfoot, Tsuut'ina, and the Stoney Nakoda peoples, and that the Central Alberta region we serve falls under the Treaty 6 traditional Métis, Cree, and Saulteaux territory. We honor the First Peoples who have lived here since time immemorial, and we give thanks for the land where Red Deer Polytechnic sits. This is where we strive to honor and transform our relationships with one another. And today is a very special day as we gather to celebrate what we have already achieved and where we are headed as a Polytechnic institution. And we have many special guests in attendance, and as we begin, I would like to acknowledge my colleagues from the Board of Governors who are joining us today both in person and virtually, so welcome, colleagues. And I would also like to welcome all of our senior leaders from across the institution to the ceremony today. And welcome to our elected officials that are seated on the stage behind me. The Honourable Demetrius Nikolaitis, Minister of Advanced Education, the Honourable Adriana LaGrange, Minister of Education and MLA for Red Deer North, Mr. Jason Steffen, MLA for Red Deer South, His Worship Mayor Ken Johnson, City of Red Deer, and His Worship Jim Wood, Mayor of Red Deer County. Our future is only possible thanks to the strong partnerships and the tremendous contributions from so many. I acknowledge and thank all of our government, Indigenous, industry, and community partners, as well as our faculty, our staff, students, alumni, donors, and other supporters. Now I am pleased to introduce the Honourable Demetrius Nikolaitis, Minister of Advanced Education, and welcome him to the podium.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real honor and privilege for me to be here with all of you today for this very important announcement. I think members of my team are still trying to get some of those additional notes together for me. So as soon as they bring those up, we'll be able to move forward here. But I did want to provide a couple of words as well, and want to thank specifically as well the Board of Governors here at Red Deer Polytechnic. Now, actually, as I was driving in, I've been here at Red Deer College on a number of different occasions, but I think this is indeed the first time that I'm here as Red Deer Polytechnic. So I do want to mark that important significance and really honored and privileged to be here with all of you as Red Deer Polytechnic. And with that being said as well, I do want to thank and acknowledge the Board of Governors. I think we often forget that their work as a Board of Governors is on a volunteer basis. They provide a lot of their time and energy, thank you so much, a lot of their time and energy and volunteerism for the benefit of our post-secondary institution here and for the benefit of the broader community. And I think they all deserve our appreciation, our thanks, and a significant round of applause for their volunteerism and their efforts here. As well, I do also want to take a moment to give my special thanks and recognition to senior leadership and all staff here at Red Deer Polytechnic. Indeed, the last 2 years have been challenging, I think, as we all know, on a personal level, having to contend with the twists and turns of COVID-19. And of course, those twists and turns have affected Red Deer Polytechnic and all of our post-secondary institutions. And the senior leadership here at Red Deer Polytechnic and all staff and students as well have had to endure those twists and turns, have had to shift to an online environment in the blink of an eye, try to get back to in-person, move back to online. So it's been a very challenging environment, and I do want to recognize and thank senior leadership and all staff for continuing to assist our students in progressing with their academic careers with very minimal disruption, while of course keeping everybody safe. So thank you for that important work. Now, of course, the real important reason that we're here today, which is really exciting to me on a personal and individual level, is to celebrate and commemorate the launch of Red Deer Polytechnic's 2 new 4-year degree programs. This institution has been through a lot of change in the past year and continues to show how Alberta's post-secondary institutions innovate to evolve to meet the needs of our students. Demand for student enrollment has been growing along the Edmonton-Calgary corridor, and these new programs will help meet that demand. The Bachelor of Education program, which will start in September, will help more students in central Alberta train to become teachers without having to leave their community. Furthermore, the Bachelor of Business Administration, which will start next year, will help give students the skills that they need to fill in-demand positions in business, not just across Alberta, but more importantly, right here in our community. These new programs are important for Red Deer Polytechnic and for the broader community. But also, more importantly, they will help empower students right here at home to achieve success in their own backyard. And also, it's a broader win, of course, for the entire province. These programs will help increase the pool of teachers in the area and bring skilled Albertans and out-of-province learners to explore their business ideas right here. This is indeed a very exciting opportunity, both to connect Alberta's students to jobs and to attract learners to our growing province. This type of innovation and evolution is exactly what our government had in mind when we created Alberta 2030, Building Skills for Jobs. This is a 10-year strategic plan for our post-secondary system. And from what I understand, from what officials within the Advanced Education Ministry tell me, this is the first time in over a decade that Alberta has a strategic plan for our post-secondary system. And in that note, I want to thank Red Deer Polytechnic for their extensive involvement in the development of that plan. It took quite a bit of while for us to work together with all of our post-secondary institutions, student leaders, industry partners, and other groups to come together and try and get on the same page. And I think we can all understand the challenges that developing a 10-year strategic plan for our post-secondary system creates. Of course, our students have their perspectives, our faculty have their perspectives, industry, our post-secondary institutions themselves, but developing that all together in a single strategic plan that we can all work together towards achieving is indeed a challenging endeavor. But I am very happy and very confident that we have all worked together to achieve something that we can develop and move forward together. And an important part of that 10-year strategic plan, Alberta 2030, was to improve access and strengthen the student experience. That is indeed goal number 1 of the 10-year strategic plan. And what we are doing here today with these 2 new programs helps us achieve that goal in particular. It helps to ensure students have a strong experience by being able to pursue their programs of study right here at home without having to leave their community. The addition of these 2 new programs also will help to expand enrollment opportunities for all Albertans, not just within the local community, but across the province. The second goal of Alberta 2030, which is worth mentioning, I won't mention all 6, but I'll mention this other one, is because it's particularly important, is to develop skills for jobs. Indeed, we need to ensure that when our students complete their program of study, they are set up with the skills, knowledge, and competencies that they need to succeed in whatever their career aspirations will take them. And these 2 new programs will do precisely that. It will help ensure students are prepared to become fantastic educators or excel in the business community. So once again, this is indeed a very exciting time for Red Deer Polytechnic, for students here at the institution, and for the broader community. Thank you for having me here with all of you this morning, and congratulations to all of you.
You can tell he's a real pro when he comes up and doesn't even have his speech, but he still rolls it out like it was already there, so I have to rely on my notes or I get off topic pretty quickly. So thank you so much, Minister Nikolaitis. We're so grateful that you were able to join us today, and equally grateful for the new degrees that you've announced for Red Deer Polytechnic. The Bachelor of Education and the Bachelor of Business Administration degrees will provide so many opportunities for our local students. These degrees will add to Red Deer Polytechnic's program mix, and they position our institution as a destination where students can complete their programs and be part of a transformative academic experience. To share more on this, I welcome Kylie Thomas to the podium, Red Deer Polytechnic's Vice President Academic and Provost.
Thank you, Guy, and thank you, Minister Nikolaitis, for bringing the welcome news about our 2 new degrees. In partnership with your government, we have truly been able to expand our complement of specialized, relevant credentials for students. Last September, we started on a new chapter for our institution. We embarked on our first academic year as Red Deer Polytechnic. We welcomed our inaugural class of more than 6,000 students who have diverse backgrounds and diverse interests, and we earnestly expanded our program offerings. In reflecting upon the past year, I am both encouraged and excited by our growth. I take this minute to pause and to celebrate with all of you the program expansions we've accomplished together over this past year. This includes 5 new degrees in Education and Business, which Minister Nikolaitis announced today, along with a Bachelor of Arts and a Bachelor of Science, each with a focus in psychology, and a Bachelor of Science in Biological Sciences. These 5 degrees were part of our original vision to become a degree-granting institution. It is so rewarding that now, as Red Deer Polytechnic, a degree-granting institution, that we now provide access to these bachelor's degrees for current and prospective learners across central Alberta and beyond. The effort that our academic team places into program development is of great value. Many of our faculty and staff have been involved in bringing these new degrees to life, and I can't thank you all enough. As some of you may be aware, I started my journey with Red Deer Polytechnic in fall of 2020. The course for where we are today was laid well before I started here, and you know, I do notice Professor Emeritus Dr. Torbjorn Anderson has joined us as well today to celebrate this news. And you know, Dr. Anderson really did lay the foundation with our institutional self-study that's gotten us here today to announce these 5 new degrees. So, you know, thank you, Torbjorn. And today, I congratulate and share special thanks to my colleagues. Associate Vice President of Teaching, Learning, and Research, Dr. Maureen Taves, for her unwavering leadership that resulted in these 5 bachelor degree approvals. I ask that you stand, Dr. Taves, along with Red Deer Polytechnic's Deans and Associate Deans, Dr. Jane McNeil, Dr. Alison Jeppesen, and Dr. Robbie Hallinan from the School of Arts and Culture. Joel Gingrich and Dr. Julia Room with the School of Education and Trades. Dr. Nancy Brown from the Donald School of Business, Science, and Technology. Thank you. If we could have some of this. You have all led policy and degree development teams with determination and dedication through a lengthy and intensive process designed to ensure quality teaching, learning, and research experiences. Collectively, we recognize and appreciate your work today and celebrate these tremendous outcomes. Well done. In addition to our degrees, we also have a breadth of other new credentials for students to choose from. For us, this is pivotal in living the Polytechnic model. We will continue to offer students a range of programs and credentials to meet their immediate goals while providing opportunities for them to build upon and ladder their education in the future. In addition to those already recognized today, at this time I wish to acknowledge Associate Vice President of Academic Entrepreneurship, Rod Holt, and Dean of Extended Education, Kim Hogarth, for their leadership and innovation in expanding our micro-credential and career development certificates. Neither of them could be here today, but their work also and the teams they lead is to be celebrated. We do thank them and the extended education faculty and staff for consistently exploring opportunities for skill development and program expansion that meets the immediate needs of learners and employers. This work is reflected in the new credentials I am about to share. Our other new credentials include 6 new certificates and diplomas in arts, business, science, and career development certificates in therapeutic massage therapy, and paralegal. Paralegal is the only paralegal certificate program in Alberta. Additionally, we are offering new micro-credentials in the subject areas of trauma awareness training and bookkeeping. And we are also proud to become one of the first post-secondary institutions in Alberta to offer apprenticeship-style credentials, starting with early childhood education. These new programs and credentials aren't just important because of what they offer, but also because of how they were developed. This is an aspect that is easily overlooked, but it is worth emphasizing. Consultations and partnerships were critical components in the development of each program. The development included broad and diverse engagement with internal and external stakeholders. The stakeholder engagement included input from local businesses, industry experts, and other education providers. This extensive feedback ensures we have developed rich, diverse curriculum, applied research opportunities, and work-integrated learning to meet the needs of students today and graduates tomorrow. We are already seeing the positive impact. This academic year, we welcomed more than 150 new students to our institution's newest certificates, diplomas, micro-credentials, and degrees. In the coming months, we'll continue to welcome students into our newest programs. Looking ahead, we remain committed to expanding our offerings as it makes sense for our students, communities, and industry. For example, we have 2 new areas of micro-credentials in development. One is a series of 3 transitional vocational programming micro-credentials, providing opportunities for students to take 1 or all 3 micro-credentials depending on their life goals. Another is the Indigenous Care Aid micro-credential, which will provide students with the knowledge and skills specific to supporting Indigenous peoples as they age in place. We are proud to have thoughtfully and intentionally prepared programs to offer students. We are grateful for faculty, those who create and deliver our programs. We thank you for being exceptional mentors, researchers, and industry-recognized experts. Likewise, we honor our service areas that support our learners and the business of teaching and learning. Earlier, I referenced how excited I am by our growth. This excitement and growth is fueled by the collective passion and the consistent contributions of our entire Polytechnic community. Today is our day to celebrate. Red Deer Polytechnic is unique. We're unique because of who we are, unique because of the breadth of credentials and pathways we offer, and unique because of where we are located and how far our impact extends. This uniqueness positions Red Deer Polytechnic as a destination of choice for students from Central Alberta and beyond to start and complete their credentials and start again to reskill, upskill, or pursue professional or personal interests. Red Deer Polytechnic is the access to lifelong learning. Thank you, and thank you to all of the efforts that got us here today.
Thanks very much, Kylie. It's always exciting to hear about the diverse pathways that our students can take to achieve their goals, and I think what Kylie described really is the definition of what a polytech is and how important it is to our region. This aspect of choice is one of the key outcomes that we as a board have envisioned for Red Deer Polytechnic, so I'm so proud that we are now able to offer that to our learners. I now welcome to the podium the Honourable Adriana LaGrange, Minister of Education and MLA for Red Deer North. Adriana.
Thank you. And good morning, esteemed colleagues, guests, and friends viewing virtually. I'm extremely pleased and honored to be here with all of you today celebrating this momentous occasion. I want to recognize the years, and I know it's been years, of hard work and advocacy that have gone into achieving the successful approval of these two full degree programs, the Bachelor of Business Administration and of course, my favorite, the Bachelor of Education. Hey. So students choosing Red Deer Polytechnic often are from the Central Alberta area, and they value the ability to stay and study in their local community. I know that some students attending RDP from rural communities really appreciate the transition to a city the size of Red Deer versus a metro city. And I know I studied in Toronto, so I know what that feels like to go from a small community to such a big pond. So Red Deer is just the right size. Giving students more choices as to where they can complete their degrees benefits all Albertans, especially as we enter a period of economic recovery. RDP, which was previously Red Deer College, has a proven track record of rising to the challenge of training the next generation of exemplary workers, pardon me, and leaders, exemplary leaders that make our province the envy of the world. And I believe everyone here believes that Red Deer does produce exemplary workers and leaders. Would you agree with me? Red Deer Polytechnic has so much to offer, and it's wonderful to see the way it continues to grow, evolve, and explore new and exciting possibilities. This is a great day for Red Deer Polytechnic. Congratulations, and from all Albertans, particularly all Red Deer and Central Albertans, this is something we've waited for so long. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Red Deer Polytechnic.
Thanks very much, Minister LaGrange. And I'm so encouraged that starting this September, Red Deer Polytechnic will be able to offer our own education degree. This will truly help to strengthen our communities, providing options for our students to become teachers themselves. And I now welcome Savannah Snow to the stage, the President of the Students Association for Red Deer Polytechnic and a member of our Board of Governors. Savannah?
Thank you, Guy. A short few months ago, on only my second day in office, I stood in front of a camera and live streamed an exciting announcement. Red Deer College would become Red Deer Polytechnic. I earnestly told anyone who asked that with this new status, I would be steadfast in my advocacy for degrees. I considered it a legacy project, something I would put a lot of my own time and effort into, but ultimately something I would pass off to whoever was to follow in my footsteps. During every meeting with our senior administrators, every chance I got, I would ask the same question: how's the progress with our degrees? I even got the chance to ask our Minister of Advanced Education himself during the Alberta Students Executive Council's Advocacy Week, accosting the poor man in the hallway while we traveled to a different room for a photo. Never did I dream that I would be standing here before my first term was even finished, announcing the fact that we all have all 5 degrees, but here I am. I am grateful to have my seat as SA president during this monumental time. This is a win for everyone involved, but most of all, this is a win for the students. No longer are students going to be displaced from their homes and hope to pursue the career they wish to have. No longer will students establish connections in their community only to have to relocate to finish their studies. No longer will they have to make the choice to establish lives in the cities they've migrated to or to return home and essentially build their networks fresh again. Now students can enjoy the choice and freedom that comes with Red Deer Polytechnic degrees. I realize that what's coming next is a transitionary period of implementing these degrees, but I would encourage the students and the community at large to keep bringing forward their ideas for further progress on degrees. Given our geographic location, we have a large variety of different sectors that require collaboration with Red Deer Polytechnic to turn out quality, prepared graduates. We shouldn't stop at 5. I would love to see a future of diverse selection of programming. A huge thank you to everyone that has had a hand in making these degrees possible. The future of Red Deer Polytechnic is so bright.
Thanks so much, Savannah. We're always grateful to have your wisdom, and you represent the students so well. And I think you just threw down the gauntlet to Kylie and her team to keep going, that they can't rest at 5. So we look forward to see what's coming next, and the students can be proud of the work that Savannah does as a representative of the students here for all Red Deer Polytechnic. I now welcome Mr. Jason Steffen, MLA for Red Deer South, to the stage, or to the podium, please, to share his words. Jason?
Good morning. Doesn't it feel great to meet and gather together in person at our Red Deer Arts Center? It feels so good, and I look forward to many great activities and opportunities to gather together. Today is a great day for Red Deer Polytechnic. It's great that my friend Torbjorn Anderson is here for this great occasion. Torbjorn introduced me to microeconomics when I started my post-secondary career so long ago in 1993 at Red Deer College. And I remember him as a great professor who loved what he did and he cared about the students he taught. The past 2 years have marked a transformative, positive change at this institution, leveraging off a polytechnic status, which allows our institution to leverage off its competitive advantages. I'm really excited by today's announcement adding education and business degrees at Red Deer Polytechnic. This will bless young adults and families throughout Central Alberta. These approvals allow Red Deer Polytechnic to be creative, to innovate and design unique degree offerings tailored to the strengths of this institution and opportunities within Central Alberta. So what will this mean? In respect to business, which I am most familiar, perhaps this will mean a business education with a unique focus on entrepreneurship, starting one's own business, pursuing one's own dreams. I know as a tax lawyer with my own tax law firm, there are many, many successful business owners throughout Central Alberta. We have a disproportionate high number, in fact. RDP's business school is in fact named after such an example. The Donald School of Business, named after Jack Donald, founder of Parkland Industries and fast gas retail fuel chains. With so many successful business owners in Central Alberta and a polytechnic status focusing on applied learning, perhaps we will see Red Deer Polytechnic develop a business degree program that places an increased emphasis on instruction from men and women with real-world private sector experience. I know that when I had the opportunity to attend law school in Calgary, I loved learning about tax law from lawyers whose day jobs was in fact serving and practicing tax law in the community. That experience inspired me later as an RDP alumnus to volunteer and teach tax course at our Donald School of Business, sharing technical knowledge as well as actual real-world experiences and perspectives on this subject. Perhaps with this new degree, there will be more opportunities and emphasis learning accounting from accounting professionals, marketing from marketing professionals, and entrepreneurship from great entrepreneurs in Central Alberta. These possibilities are exciting. This unique opportunity for RDP to innovate, be better, and provide singular learning opportunities for families and individuals is exciting. I want to congratulate RDP and all the great individuals who have done so much work leading up to this great day. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Jason. And as he described, he does have a unique perspective both as an alum and a leader in our community. So always great to hear Jason's words. And we appreciate your support, your consistent support for Red Deer Polytechnic. And I now welcome to the podium His Worship, Mayor Ken Johnson, City of Red Deer.
Congratulations and a heartfelt thanks for the vision that we see and we're benefiting from today, from the Board of Governors to an extraordinary academic resource that we have here and the leaders that we have. You know, when we got the invitation to come out today, I said to my staff, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I would walk to Red Deer Polytechnic this morning in my bare feet to say thanks this morning. Now, I will say, with the weather this morning, I'm glad I was not challenged on that, for sure. I'm glad I wasn't challenged. But you know, I just want to say, I have a scripted address this morning, and poor Sean's out there, Sean McIntyre, my chief of staff. He likes to, you know, say to me, Mayor, you varied off script, but I think it is a kind of a day we can vary off just a little bit, Sean. And I will say this, we are now positioned and positioning ourselves for greatness in Red Deer and greatness in the region. And it's just so tremendous. My colleague Jim Wood is here this morning, and we are now looking at this area in Central Alberta as a regional way to think and a regional way to build. And these degrees give us an opportunity for a young student from Innisfail, from Rocky Mountain House, from Stettler, from Red Deer County, from Red Deer City, to make a career choice and stay in the community and build a home and a community right here in Central Alberta. I will say this as well. Thank you. Thank you. I will say this as well. I met yesterday with the vice president, one of the vice presidents in Scotiabank, and that's my alma mater, and I make sure they're taking care of the share price and all those good things. But I spoke to them yesterday, and they are bullish, my friends, bullish on Red Deer and Central Alberta. And one of the primary drivers for that optimism is right here at Red Deer Polytechnic and the vision they have. This degree in business administration this morning is going to provide an inventory into the financial services industry, an inventory into business, and an inventory in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all of our citizens, on behalf of all of the people who live and serve us today in our great city of Red Deer, thank you very, very much to the Red Deer Polytechnic. Thank you for your vision. Thank you for the delivery of life-changing and future-changing industry here in the city. Thank you so much.
See, Sean, you can probably save yourself a lot of time by not writing speeches for Ken anymore and just let him kind of go off. So thank you very much, Ken, for your kind words today and for not having to walk up here. That's great. I'm sure you appreciate that too. Now, I need a script, so I have to get back on it here. So I would next welcome to the podium Jim Brinkhurst, the interim president of Red Deer Polytechnic. Jim?
Thanks, Guy. I guess we should hire Ken as our motivational speaker for the session, because he certainly shows a lot of excitement for our institution, and that's certainly welcomed, and we really appreciate that. So he can go off script when he does things like that. I just want to thank our guests, Minister Nikolaitis, Minister LaGrange, Mr. Steffen, Mayor Johnston, Mayor Wood, and Savannah Snow for being part of our today's celebration. To our faculty members and academic leaders, both past and present, I want to thank you for your hard work and to ensure our new degrees and our new programs have come to fruition. I want to stop there and just give a special recognition to Dr. Torbjorn Anderson, and great to see you here today, Torbjorn. I remember all that time that we spent, you doing a white paper and talking about what needs to be the structure as a polytechnic and why that was so important, and for us to actually convince government why it was important to be a polytechnic. So I just want to thank you for that tremendous work that you did in all those years, and I know that you retired before you had a chance to see it all come to fruition, but it's here today, so thank you. This is our time to celebrate. Thank you for everything you do every day to support our learners. I am so pleased that we can come together today in person as we celebrate our newest programs. These programs will serve our learners and communities well for many generations. We have only been Red Deer Polytechnic for 8 months, and look at what we have already accomplished. Growing with new credentials is critical for Red Deer Polytechnic, but also for the region of Central Alberta. We know that growing access to educational opportunities for our learners close to their homes also means economic growth for this region. Today, we are closer to those outcomes, and I want to thank everyone who has been involved in this journey. We are a polytechnic, and while we are still getting used to that name, I want to emphasize that this is the right path for our post-secondary institution. As a polytechnic, we can provide this region not only with degrees, but also with a full range of diploma, certificate, skilled trades credentials that Central Albertans require. Universities do not do that. Polytechnics do. As a polytechnic, we are the best served to contribute to Minister Nikolaitis' work on Alberta 2030, building skills for jobs. And we do put students to work. Our graduate employment rate is 91%. Of course, we continue to deliver programming that this region requires, even though it may not be offered at the traditional polytechnics of this province. There is demand in Central Alberta for degrees in fields such as education and for vital programs in arts, humanities, and social sciences. We are a polytechnic unbound by tradition. This means that we will continue to serve Central Albertans with the credentials that they need, even if it is atypical compared to other post-secondaries in the sector. We are here for Central Albertans with a growing list of diverse programs and credentials, a growing focus on work-integrated learning and applied research for students, and a growing number of alumni who will remain in our region. Red Deer Polytechnic and our most important assets, our people, are destined to make a positive impact now and for years to come. Thank you.
All right, we're getting close to the end. Thanks for your patience, everybody. Thanks very much, Jim. And I certainly agree with your thoughts on how Red Deer Polytechnic is a unique and dynamic institution. And we're certainly proud of these strengths, and we're equally proud of our connections throughout the region. So on behalf of myself and all of my colleagues on the board, thank you. Thank you to all of our students, our faculty, staff, and leaders who make this future and these connections possible. And thank you to our partners in government, business, community supporters, alumni, and more, who are part of our past, present, and our future. And I think these are really important days to celebrate. We don't often get that opportunity, and so I'm grateful that the community leaders behind me came out, our municipal leaders, and and all of you, both online and in person. It's really important to acknowledge these wins that we have as a new institution, so thanks for being part of that. So as we wrap up the program, I do want to acknowledge everyone on stage behind me for coming out and sharing their words with us. To the members of the media, you're welcome to move down to the front row where you can participate in a media scrum once we wrap up. And for all of our guests in attendance and online, thank you again for joining us for today's exciting news. Spread it throughout the community. Encourage all those folks that are just waiting to get their application in to apply as soon as possible. We look forward to welcoming them both September of 2022 and September 23. So we look forward to creating that new Polytechnic future with you. Thank you very much and have a great long weekend.